I've been playing Super Mario 64 for a long time, for 9 years actually. I played it twice on the N64, beaten it twice as a matter of fact. I beat it once on the DS, and I recently just beat it once on the Virtual Console. But now, let's move on to the list. 15 hardest stars to get in Super Mario 64. This list is based on how frustrating it was to get the star. Time was not taken into consideration. Stars being very cryptic and secret and just, plain annoying was taken in part. So now, let's get to the countdown.
Here we go! Thanks so much for playing my game.
Blast away the wall on Whomp's Fortress. I'm sure most of you by now already know how to get this star, and it's not all that difficult. But back in the day, when we were all little kids playing this, we had no idea what blast away the wall was supposed to mean. The internet wasn't that reliable at the time, and it took me forever to figure out how to get this. I kept thinking about the title, and started jumping all over the walls with no luck. Then I think about trying out the cannon, and I started shooting myself at the two walls in front of me. As a kid, I probably spent about 2 hours shooting at both of the walls, and next thing I know, I hit the corner by complete accident, and BAM! Some of the wall blew up. How is somebody supposed to figure out this star without a strategy guide? Watch for falling rocks on Hazy Maze Cave. You have no help from the title when trying to get this star. Would you believe you're supposed to wall jump to get this? How are you to know you were supposed to do that in the first place? After I pass the rocks, I'm just glad to pass them and I move on through the door. I would never think of wall jumping up to where the rocks came from. I honestly don't even remember how I figured this star out. Whirl from the freezing pond on Snowman's Land. Just take a good look at that title. How in the freak is that title supposed to help you get the star? I mean, am I supposed to whirl in a freezing pond? What, do I have to create a water tornado or something? There isn't a pond anyway. Well, kind of, but I certainly don't want to go in the pond. That makes me lose health. I remember there was that one day when I was so frustrated with this star that I was just trying to kill myself by jumping in the water and accidentally jumped on the flower girl and flew over to the platform on the other side. Sliding down and breaking the box in front of me, I found the star. Now I feel all better. Not. Another problem with this star, if you actually figured out what to do, you only have 2 tries to actually land on the platform. If you screw up and don't make it, you might as well kill yourself, because there is no other way over. Blast to the Lonely Mushroom on Tall Tall Mountain. There are 2 ways to do this star, and I've only gotten it the obscure way. What you're supposed to do is talk to Bombo, who is really hard to get to in the first place, and then you have to teleport from the tiniest mushroom, which is easy to fall off, and you end up on this small platform. You then walk across this little path which gets narrower and narrower to the point where you have to start humping the wall, and when you get to the cannon, you realize that you have just 1 shot for the star. 1 shot! If you screw up, you gotta go through that whole process all over again and lose a life. Get the bomb, teleport on the midget mushroom, and go in the cannon. I have a better strategy. Hop on the shy guy that's near the log, and just fly over. While that can be kind of tricky to pull off, it's certainly a lot easier compared to the other way. Can the eel come out to play on Jolly Roger Bay? No, the eel should never come out to play. He should just go die in a hole and never show his ugly face again. The problem is that the eel has the star, and trying to get it from him is just ridiculous. When you first see him, he's waving his head around for what seems like forever. I mean, he just chills there for ages. Oh my god, just get out of the hole! Finally, when the eel decides to get out of the wall, you see the star attached to the tip of his tail, and he waves it around like a dog just saw a cat. If you touch him by accident, you get hurt, and you can't go for the star after that, because by the time he comes out of the hole and you get close enough to him, you're gonna need air. The only way you can get it is to hover over him while he's in the wall, and hope you don't sink down and accidentally touch him. Doing this successfully will cause you to get the star. It's just ridiculous how hard this is. And we're not even halfway through the list yet. Getting the bunny the second time. Let's go back to when I was a kid. I literally spent an hour trying to catch this stupid yellow bastard. When I finally caught him, I was just thinking, wow, I'm glad I don't have to catch this bunny again. About 30 stars later, I see what I have to do in the basement, you know, just for the heck of it. And wouldn't you know it, the bunny is back. I spend another hour trying to catch it, and after I got it, I turned the game off and I didn't play it again for about a month. Catching him once was annoying and hard enough, but having to do it again? That's just torture. Getting this bunny has not gotten any easier as I've gotten older. Wall kicks will work on Cool Mountain. More like wall kicks won't work. Getting to the main area isn't all that easy. Talking to the bomb-ohm is once again hard to reach. Once you get him, you'll use the cannon and blast to the tree. However, I find this whole process a pain in the butt, so I just use the flower guy. Once getting to the main part, I can clear the first wall jump no problem. But the next one is so hard. The main problem is that you can't jump far enough, and when you reach the wall, it's at the slanted end. I try triple jumping, I try long jumping, side flipping, back flipping, nothing works! There is a cheap way to do this. Just jump off the wall in front of you, and you'll reach the tiny platform to the star. I remember spending about 3 hours on this star as a kid. Eye to Eye in the secret room on Big Goose Hunt. This is basically a time trial run with very little room for messing up. And when I say very little, I mean very little time. Basically, you get the invisible cap, and you gotta run through a room, and you have to wall jump up a floor to get to the star. That's all good and whatever, but the problem is the camera. It's really awkward at any angle, and your wall jump has to be very, very accurate. If you miss your mark once or twice, you might as well get another invisible cap and try again. It's easy to spend a good 2 hours trying to get this star. Getting 100 coins on Rainbow Ride. To be honest, it's pretty easy to get a good portion of the coins for this star. The problem is, if you overshoot one jump, you're falling down, down, down. Another thing that sucks is if you mess up the wall jumps to get all your blue coins. I mean, that's just not good because you're depending on those blue coins to help you finish, and if you don't get most of them, then good luck finding more coins. They are pretty scarce beyond the level. Big Boost Balcony on the Ghost stage. The problem with this star is actually getting to it. All you have to do is kill Boo from the balcony, which is tricky until you get the pattern down. When you see him die, the star will float till beyond your sights, and you realize you have to go on the roof to get it. There are no ledges to cling onto. There's barely anything that you can use to walk on the roof. The only way to get to the star is to long jump from one side of the roof, and you have to kind of feel your way around. You'll go through plenty of trial and error because you can't see where you can walk. Trial and error sucks through a straw because it takes like 3 hours to get all the way back up to the balcony. You'll just fall again and again and again. This star is just, poop. Peach's Secret Slide. Yeah, this is the easiest star in the game. However, I'm not talking about the one in the box. If you complete the course in under 21 seconds, you get another star. And that is definitely a lot harder than it looks. You have to have a perfect run down the slide. If you screw around and hit a wall or slow down too much, you're not going to make the time. There is a way to cheat though. If you jump off of a certain spot at the beginning, you can end up at the end of the course in about 3 seconds. However, I've never been able to pull that off. This star is very troublesome. Go to town for red coins on Wet Dry World. This is by far the most time-consuming star. Not only is it a pain in the butt to get to the area where all the coins are, but overall, this is, that one stage I just don't like to play on. I mean, I don't know why, I just really hate this stage. But anyway, when you shoot off from the cannon and get to this special area, you look around and it's pretty big, there's lots of houses, and there's, one coin you can find pretty easily. There are 2 other coins that you can get kind of easy, but they're obvious to find. But after that, you're done for dinner. Going on the roofs for all the houses is nearly impossible. You gotta really put your balls into wall jumping and long jumping and doing all sorts of acrobatic parkour stuff to reach some of these roofs. I mean, you have to use your imagination to find ways to get to these coins. I've spent a good 2 hours when I was younger trying to get one little friggin' coin. This star can go screw itself. Pyramid Puzzle on Dry Desert. This star is absolutely insane getting. There is no easy or hard way getting this star. There is only the luck way. The goal is to collect 5 special coins. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, if you don't know which coins you have to get, you're as good as done, because 3 of these coins are not only hard to find, but harder to get to. To get to them, you have to get to the top of the pyramid, and there are these teeny, tiny ledges you have to jump onto. You gotta land on 3 of these platforms, and one mess up sends you either halfway back or all the way back to the beginning. I guarantee you won't get all the coins on your first try. The platforms are just too small. And by the way, you have 1 shot for the star. It's not that hard to miss, but if you do miss it, you're gonna fall right into deep quicksand and die instantly. This star can go screw itself. Bowser in the Sky, or the 3rd Bowser, the red coins for it. This is the most cryptic and secret red coin star ever. There are 2 red coins that are impossible to find just playing through. You have to look through every nook and cranny of the stage and you might find them all. The first cryptic coin is located in a safe spot in case you fall. You'll never notice it unless you're like goofing around with the camera or something. The last red coin, though, at the end of the stage is in the most ridiculous spot. You have to look under the stairs and you'll find it. How is anybody supposed to think of looking under there? You're surprised to even be reaching the final Bowser. You're too worried about fighting him. Who in their right mind is going to think of looking under some stairs for a coin? You know, that red coin is just thinking, haha, Mario is a total sucker and will never find me. However, this is not the hardest red coin challenge. That cloud stage, getting those red coins. Getting these coins requires the wing cap. While the wing cap is fun to use, it can also be very frustrating at the same time. Your only way to figure out where all the coins are is to fly from cloud to cloud, and that's definitely not as easy as it sounds, or looks. Most of these clouds are tiny, and it's very easy to just slide right off. You can actually bump into a cloud and start falling, which is pretty funny because I didn't know there was solids in clouds. But anyway, when you start falling from a cloud, the worst possible thing happens. You start falling right into some water, which happens to be located right outside the castle. This means you have to go through the whole castle all over again just to try getting this stupid star. I'd rather lose a life than have this happen. Feels like it's been 15 minutes before I get to the top of the castle to try this stupid thing again. I mean, your accuracy has to be perfect to get this star. There have been several times I've gotten all 8 red coins, and then I run into something so hard that I just fall, I run into the freaking water, and I don't get my star. I have to get it all over again, and it pisses me off. But, to be fair, this is probably one of the best games ever made. But these 15 challenges just test my patience. Play the game if you haven't already, but be ready for challenge.